Hey guys, Tara Castaneda here, Diamond Senior Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and today we are on part 3 of 4 of my Are You Stuck series. Okay, so today we are going to discuss how do I develop my influence. Okay, so the first 2 we went through was developing your destination and why. The second was getting in alignment with yourself and your business, and the third is how do I develop my influence, right? So if you're typically stuck, you're usually lacking some influence, and this can be a hard pill to swallow sometimes. I have 2 book references that I want to begin with. The first one is John Maxwell's Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. This is a great one. Another one that is wonderful for you to read is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a really good book. Both of these help with influence. But today I'm going to go over some 7 simple tips to help you increase your influence. Okay, so the first one is connect with people emotionally. Okay, so if you truly want to intrigue and influence people, you have to, there's actually studies on this, you have to get their dopamine pumping in their heads. Dopamine, right? The good stuff. Dopamine actually stimulates that pleasure reward area in your brain that makes people feel the fuzzies, the warm and fuzzies. And so you need to be pretty intentional about stimulating that part of the brain if you want to influence somebody, right? If somebody doesn't have the warm and fuzzies about you, how are they going to truly listen to you, right? So a great way to do this is by having good conversation starters that evoke emotion, okay? What is the best part of your day, and what was the worst part of your day? Right? That's a pretty emotionally driven question and response, right? Best part and worst part of your day. What personal passion projects are you working on? Get them to connect emotionally with you. Have a conversation of depth, kind of a deal. Number 2, be emotionally curious. When you make others feel important, guys, do you know how important that is? Your influence goes such a long way when others feel important because of your actions. Everybody wants to be loved and praised and edified, right? That's why I tell my team all of the time to publicly edify their team on their team pages, on social media. Make your team feel important. Make others feel important. If you are trying to influence somebody in a positive way, make them feel important, liked, loved. When you do that with somebody, they perceive you as influential, right? Think back on, I'm sure each of us can just go, boom, who is somebody that's ever made us feel important? Okay. How do you view their influence level? Pretty high, right? Right? Take note of that, guys. Take note of that. Become genuinely interested in other people. Ask them open-ended questions. Get people talking about themselves, and that will help you build rapport. Number 3, your body language. You need to be mindful of your body language, okay? Actually, a Harvard Business School conducted a study that, I'm going to read something here, that explores if an individual's body language could affect other people's opinion of that person. And this is what the research found. Low-powered body language is normally contracted, the shoulders rolled, and the head down or bowed. Not very much eye contact, right? High-powered or confident body language is expansive. The head is high, the arms are loose, the shoulders are set back, the chest is out. When you have positive body language, you are seen as well, and you are seen as more influential, right? What does your body language say? 70% of what we say actually comes from body language, not by what we say. Confident body language not only affects the way others see you, but also the way you see yourself. And that plays a huge part in your influence. Number 4 is tell a story. Guys, we need to be better storytellers. You need to work on this. Do this in front of a mirror so that you can see yourself in your body language that we just talked about. You must appear note that word, you must appear confident in what you're presenting. Whether that's a story, maybe you're demonstrating a product, or maybe you're representing yourself. Maybe you're talking to a new prospect about the opportunity, and you need to be confident about yourself and your decision to join this opportunity. And then you need to be confident about the products and the business and everything else, right? Your story, you need to appear confident. Note that I said appear. Some of you may struggle with self-confidence, and that goes back to narrative. Go watch my video on leadership DNA on my YouTube channel. I summarize Carrie Wilkerson's speech, and the N in DNA stands for narrative, guys. Narrative is so important. Self-talk is so important. But maybe you're struggling with self-confidence. Again, just work on appearing through your body language. Not this. This. When you appear self-confident, over time, the more you do it, the more confident you're actually going to become. Kind of works in a fun way like that. Furthermore, people's brains are almost hardwired, so to speak, for stories. When they hear stories, they can feel it as if they're right there when it's happening with the other person. It's like the listener is experiencing the story along with the narrator. So, do you see how potentially influencing that is? When someone tells a story, the brain of the other person becomes in sync with the person telling it. Right? And if you can stimulate that other person's brain with a story, you can, in effect, get them on your side and thus influence them. Be a better storyteller. Get to the point. Be confident. Have your key points. Don't ramble. Don't make it about you. Okay? Be a good storyteller. Number 5. This is a big one. I think this is one reason that I get such a good response on some of my videos is because I am pretty vulnerable and authentic. Sometimes that's really tough to do. But by you being open about your emotions and who you are, it increases your likability and influence. People are going to perceive you as being real when you admit to weaknesses and flaws. Make sense? Right? I'm going to show you a weakness right now. You ready? Okay, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm going to do it. Watch this. See why I wear this hat? Haven't had a chance to do my hair. Look at this. You want to see something beautiful? I have not styled my hair. Oh, look at that. Haven't done it. Right? This is me without a hat. Okay? But I wear the hat so that you don't have to worry about get distracted by the mane that is my hair. But that's me being vulnerable and authentic. Guys, I've been so busy with my 2 kids, I haven't had time to do my hair. So I throw it up, but I'm still here trying to teach you guys something, right? Be vulnerable and authentic. There is what's called the spotlight effect, okay, when it comes to being vulnerable and authentic. Some people are fearful because of that, thinking that others are paying so much attention to them than they actually are. Guys, first off, people are not paying that much attention to you. They're way more self-involved than caring about what you're doing. You're not that important to where everybody's looking at you all the time. So I want to kind of take that back a little bit. Don't worry about that spotlight effect. However, people are able to better relate to you when you do open up, okay? Even though you are the center of your own world, you're not the center of everyone else's, right? If you're struggling in your business, it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that. Or at least admit it to yourself and work on making it better, and then coming back once you've made it better and make a video for your team and say, hey guys, this hasn't been all roses and sunshines and unicorns. Guess what? I got stuck. It was mad, crazy hard, and I was exhausted and I cried, but I overcame, and here's how I did it. Do you know how influential that would be? Be vulnerable and be authentic. You're not only going to tell a great story, right, by being so vulnerable and authentic, but it increases your influences in several different ways. Furthermore, be yourself, guys. Be authentic. When you are not authentic, it's as easy to spot as an elephant in a field of mice. Y'all, people know when you're not being authentic. It's also easy to see when you're trying to be just like someone else rather than yourself. It's okay to mirror people, mirror good habits, but you need to still make them your own. Remember back in middle school? I don't know if this is for y'all, but middle school was really tough for me. I mean, who really ever had a really good middle school experience? Let's just be real. But it was really tough for me. Remember back in middle school when you tried to be like everybody else and like you dress like them or you act like them or you talk like them? Remember also how maddening middle school was because you didn't know who you were, and then you finally figured yourself out, maybe like in your mid-20s, and everything just seemed to click and it was comfortable, right? That's this. Be you. Be authentic. Just because Sally Sue over to your left, her team is rocking it out and she's soaring, that doesn't mean you have to be Sally Sue, right? When you do that, you're not going to be authentic, right? So you need to be authentic to you, maybe learn some of her skill sets that she has, but still be yourself, okay? People can sense when you're authentic and when you're not, and they're far more trustworthy of you when you are authentic, thus making you more influential. Okay. Number 6, ask a favor. When somebody asks someone else for a favor, he or she is typically perceived as more positive. Okay. Let's for example say, well, let me back up. It turns out that asking for help is one of the best things you can do to be perceived as an influential person. This is actually called the Benjamin Franklin effect. So ask your team, ask your friends, ask your leaders, ask somebody who themselves is struggling. Ask them for help in the form of advice or maybe their input or opinions or their guidance. Guys, it's going to make them feel important that you want their input, and thus makes them more trustworthy of you, thus making you more influential to them. Make sense? Ask for a favor. Get people involved. If you're struggling with somebody in your downline that just isn't taking your advice, flip the script on them. Ask for a favor. Develop your influence with them. And number 7, my last quick little tip on developing influence is become charismatic. Okay? Who is the most charismatic person that you know? And why did you pick that person? Most likely, you chose that person because they made you feel good, right? Charismatic people make you feel good. We talked about this already. It's important on how you make others feel. Did you know that most people don't remember what an individual looks like, what he or she may have said, how much money they had, if they had the prettiest purse, or the most perfect looking family on Facebook? What they do remember is how they made you feel, right? Charismatic people make others feel good. 3 nonverbal ways for a person to increase their charisma, so to speak, is when you talk to somebody, tilt your head, okay, align your torso with that person, and point your toes towards that person. Again, it's all about body language. It signifies that you're understanding, you're receiving what they're saying, you're involved with what they're saying, you are paying attention to what they're saying, right? Make them feel important and good. Guys, influence is really important when you're doing something like this business. If you're feeling stuck, go back and check your influence. Are you able to influence people to try the business with you? If not, check and see what you're talking about. Are you only talking about the products, or are you also talking about the business, right? If you are talking about both and you're still not able to get people to do the business with you, check your influence level. What tips of these can you work on? If you're stuck at a position, for example, I was stuck at Emerald and I was struggling to develop leaders underneath me. I needed to get people to invest in their own leadership skills. And so I had to work on my influence with that. When you're stuck, it always tends to tie back to influence. Are you able to influence people to try the products, to join your team? Are you influenced? Are you influential enough to help people go silver and try this? Influence is so, so important. So definitely spend some time on developing your influence, and I really think it will help serve you well.